This radical extremist Hassan Piker who lied to Ethan and pretended he was just like a chill liberal.
We've got the guns. When do we use them?
Yeah.
You know, that's why we have them, right, Charlie? Are dangerous and psychotic, and I think it's time to them.
But can you imagine if anyone was making this joke about him? He would go fucking crazy. Ethan's sitting there cracking jokes about shooting him. Ethan is like the one who is sounding radical here. Okay, so we may all be aware, we should all be aware, that in the last few days, as Charlie Kirk died, Ethan Klein quickly responded to it and made it immediately about himself and started talking about how much danger he's in and how terrible his life is because all the lefties are so mean to him, how he can't go outside anymore because he's going to die too, and started crying, which we'll just play here. We'll just see him cry.
But I don't think you're going to see much activity like that. And this is also why when Luigi fucking assassinated this CEO, I personally was one of the few people that was like, or on the left was like, this is unequivocally fucked up.
Yeah.
This is bad. This person is a murderer. This is political violence. And this is not something that we should ever celebrate.
Reasonable there, totally reasonable.
And you look back at the coverage of them, and everybody on the left is kind of like dabbing this dude.
So should never be encouraged. Should never be celebrated. You should never encourage or celebrate political violence. It ended Charlie Kirk's life. People, you know, people doing this sort of crazy stuff has cost a life.
Thirsting for him, flat out.
Thirsting for him, which is normal for murderers. So the thirsting thing is kind of its own separate, strange psychological phenomenon.
I've personally seen people having like a picture of him in their phone case.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or ads, fake ads on Instagram.
I don't know.
So this is something that I've been against, obviously, and even in that case, I thought it was horrific. This is not, and well, like I said at the time,
it was not an odd pause at all. You're just retarded, Polly. Also, I'm never going to be muted if I was just talking, because I don't mute mid-sentence. I mute if I'm doing something. Okay, retard?
Left were even criticizing me. They go, oh, Ethan was talking bad about Luigi. How much has he changed? That was my point. He went out and murdered this guy, right? What changed? Not a single fucking thing changed. That's not how we enact change. And so I wouldn't recommend watching the video, but for me, it
So this is, this guy's cut up about this. This guy's really upset. I mean, it did seem to immediately start after he started thinking about himself being in that situation, but like now he's saying it's terrifying. Like he really seems to be crying about how bad his own life is, but you know, he took a firm stance there.
I feel like it's such a terrifying moment for everybody, and to understand this is what we've come to, and I can't help but think about the poor wife, you know,
and kids.
Yeah, wow, what thoughtful and principled people.
Been looking into getting our concealed license permit.
Yeah.
But seeing it like that definitely made it more realistic and very scary.
AB saying concealed license permit. A license and a permit are really kind of the same thing. I think you mean a concealed carry license or permit.
But
AB.
I
But
heard
that's okay.
his reaction when he saw it. I was like, I knew that was something.
It's nice that they give a disabled person a chance to walk on the show. Two, in fact. They're so willing to hire disabled
I was
people.
brought to tears then because I don't know. I don't think I need to explain it anymore.
So true.
But I hope people take this seriously.
Take Ethan's feelings seriously, guys. Okay?
Anyway, we got Boba.
Very important. We got Boba. We got Boba. Wow, so funny and quirky, so quirky. Wow, so quirky. Now, what was Ethan saying back when he was talking to this radical extremist Hassan Piker? This radical extremist Hassan Piker who lied to Ethan and pretended he was just like a chill liberal. He lied to Ethan. He pretended he was just like a chill liberal. You know, Ethan was just on leftovers saying chill liberal things. Hassan hid. Hassan pretended that he's just, you know, another liberal. Managed to fit in for a while. Managed to trick Ethan. Turn his whole community against him. Surreptitiously turn Ethan's whole community against him. What was Ethan saying about Charlie Kirk just a few years ago?
Charlie, on the other hand, you can see him like reboot every time this happens. He's like going up the dialogue tree like a fucking NPC. He's like, what do I have for violent agitative propaganda?
Oh, let's find it back a bit more.
It's like, no, motherfucker, you're trying to make me do this.
Yeah.
You're the one from the old folks' home.
Well, the problem is like Charlie Kirk and Tucker Carlson, a lot of these guys, they have basically told people for so long that the election has been stolen, that these people are evil, that you're living in tyranny, fascism. It's like if everything they said was true, then violence would be justified.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden,
For sure.
Charlie Kirk is confronted with the result of his propaganda. Now watch how he reacts. But like, if you believe what they're saying, then, you know, it's justified what he's saying, and that's what's so fucked up.
No, hold on. No, stop. Hold on. Now I'm going to denounce that. I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
Because you're playing into all their plans, and they're trying to make you do this. That's okay. Just hear me out.
So someone asked a question about being violent, basically about doing violence for the cause.
Make you
started with the compliment, so at least give.
Bro, but that's what I'm saying. He's
that guy's
up.
like, no, motherfucker, you're trying to make me do this.
yeah.
You're the one who told me that they're stealing the elections.
Yeah.
Why are you backing down?
If you're living in a fascist country, he has a valid point, right? He believes you, Charlie. So tell him, when does he get to start using the guns?
That is.
I do actually agree with Ethan Hassan's analysis here. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you tell people again and again, the country has been stolen from you, the election has been stolen, all power has been taken away from you, the country's fallen. Yeah, there is a natural endpoint of that, which is I need to revolt. That is the natural endpoint of that.
It's the logical conclusion.
Yeah, exactly. He's right, Charlie. He's just listening to you. And, you know, and again, they're all about the First Amendment. It's like, okay, so we got the guns. Second Amendment, sorry. We've got the guns. When do we use them?
Yeah.
You know, that's why we have them, right, Charlie?
They are trying to provoke you and everyone here. They are trying to make you do something that will be violent, that will justify a takeover of your freedoms and liberties, the likes of which we have never seen. We are close to have, we are close to have momentum to be able to get this country back on a trajectory using the peaceful means that we have at us.
Seriously?
Yeah, no, if you fucking re-elect Orrin Hatch, that's how you're gonna fucking win the war against like the new Patriot Act against whites. You know what I mean?
This is what really makes me think Charlie Kirk is a straight up grifter that doesn't even believe the shit he says. Because if he did, they would all be fucking guns in hand overthrowing the government because the elections are illegitimate.
Yeah.
And that's it. What do you do? What do you do when the elections are illegitimate? You get your gun and you fucking, you know, go to war.
The difference between that guy and Charlie Kirk is that like that guy at least thought the arguments through.
Exactly.
And that's the logical conclusion of that argument.
One-on-one together. And Charlie's like, no, that's not what I meant.
Charlie, on the other hand, you can see him like reboot every time this happens. He's like going up the dialogue tree like a fucking NPC. He's like, what do I have for violent agitative propaganda? Yeah, you should vote extra harder. You should vote extra.
This clip would have been much better if Ethan coughed every single sentence. Yeah. Isn't it such a shame that Ethan isn't coughing every single sentence and almost breaking down crying about how terrible his life is? Guys, isn't the podcast so much better now that he's doing that?
Hard next time. I think that's how we win.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He's just in it for the grift. He doesn't want the revolution. He doesn't want the violence. He just wants to keep making money.
Well, like what violence? Like they already control everything. Like that's the reason. You know what I mean? They control everything. Conservatives and reactionary politicians, they control the fucking court system damn near in its entirety. Even the liberals themselves are like feckless capitalists. who will defend Nestle's rights to, you know, have slaves and steal indigenous land and water supply. Like, there's nothing. So that's why when you keep agitating, when you're already the dominant power, that's how you get to like straight up brown shirt militia shit. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing to fight against.
Yeah, well, and notice how he doesn't say, well, that's psychotic. We don't want to go murder people. It's illegal and psychotic. He goes, no, 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 no. We're not there yet. Just vote.
Means that we have at us. So to answer your question, and I just think it's, you know, overly blunt.
It's overly blunt. When do we get to kill people?
The aesthetics of what you're saying.
Little blunt.
It's not very civil.
It's just a little blunt.
Your bloodthirsty, violent rage is not very civil right now. I don't like it.
It's just if you would have perhaps said, when do we get to, you know, start a civil war, then that would be fine. But just less specific, please.
Ones that do not play into the violent.
So this is all reasonable so far, all totally reasonable. I think this is totally reasonable analysis of the stuff Charlie Kirk's saying. You know, he is absolutely leading people to a logical conclusion that is like violent revolt. It is the obvious outcome of the stuff he's argued. The fact that he's acting so shocked or so appalled by this audience member saying something like that to him is ridiculous.
And ambitions of the other side.
They're violent.
Let me say this.
You got a good dude in your audience saying, when do I get to kill people? You fucking psycho.
Well, even then, it's the fault of the Dems. It's the libs that fucking, you know, you want to own the libtards is so hard that, like, ultimately, it's still the libtards that are responsible for this guy being like, no, I want to kill some libtards.
Yeah, they're violent. It's depressing and it's terrifying. I mean, these people are dangerous and psychotic, and I think it's time to kill them. I'm just kidding.
No, Jesus.
I'm just trying to, a little blunt. I'm sorry, just a little blunt. Back it up. I'm not, yeah.
So, okay, Ethan.
Of the other side.
You fucking psycho.
Well, even then, it's the
dude in your audience saying, when do I get to kill people? You fucking psycho.
Well, even then, it's the fault of the Dems. It's the libs that fucking, you know, you want to own the libtards is so hard that, like, ultimately, it's still the libtards that are responsible for this guy being like, no, I want to kill some libtards.
Yeah, they're violent. It's depressing and it's terrifying. I mean, these people are dangerous and psychotic, and I think it's time to kill them. I'm just kidding.
No, Jesus.
I'm just trying to, a little blunt. I'm sorry, just a little blunt.
So, he's not quite fully committing there. But he's playing around with the idea. He's playing around with the idea. And you've got to remember, this is in the same time. Because it's not just like a... That isn't a we're doing what they're doing point, right? He is playing on what they said. But it's not a hypocrisy point. It's not like a... like anything like that. It's like a joke about how... Yeah, it's like a joke about how if you're taking up arms, we're going to take... It's like sort of like that, right? You know, if you're getting to this point, we're getting to this point. That's roughly what he's saying, as like in sort of like coded as a joke. And this is around the same time he is saying all that shit about NRA meetings, Greg Abbott. You know, I don't know if you guys know the shit we said about Greg Abbott. That's obviously the old governor of Texas. I was in a wheelchair, and Ethan constantly was talking about him falling out of the wheelchair, getting pushed out of the wheelchair. Well, no. Okay, Polly, here's the thing. The NRA comment is almost exactly like this. The NRA comment is almost exactly like this. He says, like, someone should... Wait, that's a joke. Yeah, no, someone should... Them all. You know, that he does the same thing. He says it, pulls it back as a joke, then puts it back out again.
Back it up. Are dangerous and psychotic, and I think it's time to kill them. I'm just kidding.
No, Jesus.
I'm just trying to, a little blunt.
Yeah, this reads less serious. He's less seething here. When he made the NRA quote-unquote joke, he was, like, mad. He was, like, blatantly mad, and it came off the back of, like, this massive rant about how Republicans are all demons, how they're letting kids die in school shootings. It was, you know, They did. It was like he did all the work to basically make you dehumanize them, for lack of a less gay term. But like he does all that work and then goes and yeah. This one does not read quite the same. This is nowhere near as bad. But can you imagine if anyone was making this a joke about him? He would go fucking crazy.
I'm sorry, just a little blunt. Back it up. I'm not even a Second Amendment guy, so.
Very clearly, they fear us holding the line with self-control and
no, I fear you with the gun.
Yeah, no,
that's way scarier.
No, I think liberals fear guys like that.
Yeah,
who
and
say,
by the way,
I'm gonna do a murder.
And by the way, at FBI, please fucking background check this motherfucker. Yeah, no, I'm definitely scared of
that's
you
the
guys.
off-duty cop, so probably.
Right, yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Board meetings,
sure.
they're the
never
ones
mind,
that
he's
are
too in
willing
shape.
to use federal force against us. And I know that people get fired up. We are living under fascism. We are living under this tyranny.
Fired up. This motherfucker said he wants to kill people. Damn.
But if you think for a second that they're not wanting you to all of a sudden get that next level where they're going to say, okay, we need Patriot Act 2.0. If you think that, Waco is bad, wait till you...
His argument, it's not even logical. What's this whole Second Amendment guns right bullshit about if there's no point to use it? He's saying, no. We never use our guns. It's just we're living in a society where the election is stolen every year. Nothing is legitimate, and everybody's lying to you.
Also, does Charlie Kirk not support the Patriot Act?
Well, yeah, that's the wonderful part about that
really?
is that like these guys are now like they're libertarian, right? Even though they're not. They're obviously not libertarian because like he's like anti-weed, anti-choice. So he's not libertarian at all, but they love to adopt the aesthetics of like, civil libertarianism. And he's like, oh, the surveillance state, it's just bad and wrong.
Conservative woke.
It's like, it's good when it's against Muslims.
Yeah, he's talking about when it targets white dudes.
Yeah.
Specifically.
See what they want to do next. What I'm saying is that we have a very fragile balance right now at our current time where we must exhaust every single peaceful mean possible. I will say this.
And then we shoot.
Like what next? What more do you want though? Like, do you like what does that guy want that someone else hasn't told him is the reason why he should be mad? You know what I mean? Like from a political point of view, if you're like a fucking Republican voter, like you're getting pretty much everything. I mean, I guess like you just want to deny freedom and civil liberties to like marginalized people. That's the issue, I suspect. Where it's like, yeah, I don't like that, black people get to drink from the same water fountain as me. But like, other than that, it's like the guys that you're voting for, they get their agenda passed all the time.
Right.
Fat tax cuts, more war in the Middle East.
Well, their lives still suck, and they don't understand why.
Yeah.
Their lives fucking suck.
It's not the liberals, man.
They're broke. They're wage slaves. They can't afford health care. They can't afford insulin for their parents who are
That's not medical fascism, though. The medical fascism is when you get free vaccine. So you don't fucking die in a hospital.
That is what they're talking about, ironically.
Yeah. It's insane.
By the way, the tour is called Exposing Critical Racism Tour. So there you have it.
Yeah.
Well, he did expose it. To exercise the peaceful means of state sovereignty against the federal government. Not even close. I'll give you 5 things Idaho could do right now. The governor of Idaho could sign an executive order that says there are no vaccine mandates for private, for public, for anyone. It's not going to happen. He could do that right now.
I just can't get over the fact that these guys are ready to kill people over a vaccine mandate. Like, I just can't. I can't.
Number 2, the governor of Idaho could come out and he could say, okay, BLM, Bureau of Land Management, EPA, you're out. We're governing our own lands. We're in control of our own
territory. This is why you want to go to civil war over fucking EPA? I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Out of the state of Idaho.
No, it does make sense. It does make sense because that is the real goal of the dudes who's paying him. You know what I mean?
But these people,
the EPA's already gutted his shit, so they want to gut it further, I guess.
So here's what's keeping us between a civil war so far: vaccine mandates, environmental regulations.
So even here, like, I feel like it's weird looking back at this. Hassan's analysis is like all about, like, everything Hassan said so far has been like totally reasonable, grounded. It's like, that is true, 100%. The erosion of government agencies and shit, that was absolutely part of what Turning Point was trying to do. That's like the whole Project 2025 shit. That's what Charlie Kirk was completely bought into. That's what he was pushing. And Hassan has been totally limited to analyzing the rhetoric. Ethan's sitting there cracking jokes about shooting him. Ethan's talking about how he wants civil war. Charlie Kirk wants civil war. Ethan is like the one who is sounding radical here and has contributed to like some kind of increase in temperature. Yet he wants to portray it as though, oh, all these crazy lefties like Hassan have just made it so the temperature's so high now and I can't go outside without fearing that I'm going to be killed. Let me cry for Charlie Kirk, except it's not really about Charlie Kirk, it's about me. Like, it's bizarre looking back when you see what the narrative is now. Because this was Ethan all the time. Like I say, this is around the same time as he's talking about the NRA.
These are all things that greatly affect the working classes, you know.
3, Idaho could pick and choose through the state legislature which one of the federal laws they think actually apply to the Idaho Constitution. These things.
I don't think that's how federal law works. What the fuck does that mean? Pick and choose which federal law applies to them? What the fuck does that even mean, bro?
Will push back against the tyranny you're talking about. A mistake would all of a sudden be getting into physical violent confrontation. You think that this regime has all of a sudden sprung into action? Wait until they get what they want.
Wait, pause for a second. So, like, the Voting Rights Act is completely gutted, right? So, and a newer version of that got yeeted in the Senate because 41 Republican senators were like, no, we're not going to vote.
Black people
allow.
voting?
We're not going to vote to allow.
That's our whole. That's our whole strategy.
It's not even just black people. It's literally like, you know, making it a national holiday, a federal holiday to be able to vote. Like, that's in the provision. They even added voter ID into it. You know what I mean? The Democrats are so cowardly that they were like, yeah, sure, we'll put voter ID in there. Fuck it. Who cares? And even then, Republicans were like, nope, we're not doing that. And so what federal law was Charlie even fucking talking about with respect to like elections being stolen? Like what? You just want like Idaho? What? Like I don't get it. Like, well, what more could they want? Is just Republican state legislatures should be able to overturn Democratic results if they don't go the way of the Republicans. Like that's what I guess that's kind of what they're doing. They're kind of doing that in Texas. Like they're allowing the liberty to stay for, you know, Republican legislatures to be able to do that. So I guess that's what they want. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, Don Jr. has the answers. Shout out to Don Jr., a favorite forever and always. Put out a
friend of the show.
Friend of the show, shout out.
Good luck with all of that leftover.
Dude, like, look, how can the way they talk about other people's deaths? I forgot about the Alec Baldwin stuff. Because Alec Baldwin is like some fucking lib who made fun of Trump on SNL or whatever the fuck. They were like jumping and fucking cheering over this director's death and shit. They were like, Alec Baldwin's murderer, like, come up with conspiracy theories immediately. They were talking about what was it, the armorer? I think she actually did end up getting charged for it. Was it the armorer's fault in the end? I don't remember how that ended up shaking out. But the moment it happened, regardless, they were scrolling all these social media profiles, they were cracking all these jokes about, you know, how you never let a lib use a gun and all this shit. It was, you know, that's how they reacted. Minute one. Because it was some lib celebrity.
Thank you, Don. Guns don't kill people. Alec Baldwin kills people. Classy as ever. Don Jr., ladies and gentlemen. Can be yours for...
Yeah, that's Don Jr.'s store.
$28.
Dude.
Wild.
You know, it's crazy how this Alec Baldwin made fun of Trump, and they're literally celebrating a poor woman who was accidentally murdered or killed on set. It's insane. It's actually literally insane. There's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, no, it's like mass shootings happen, and you know Republicans are like, "Oh, it's fine, it's whatever." Alec Baldwin accidentally shoots someone, and it's like, "Whoa,
karma!"
Whoa. Yeah,
hey, they saying karma, like that woman deserved to die because Alec Baldwin made fun of his dad. That look when an anti-gun nut kills more people with a gun than your extensive firearm collection ever has. Yeah. Fact check. True. That's Donald Trump.
Dude, he's such an epic poster, dude. Epic meme sauce, man. It's great.
Absolutely.
God,
how do we
these guys
say
are
in
such
English for
fucking
fuck?
losers?
Oh, I guess that's a joke about how she pretended to be Spanish or something. Let's all watch Alec Baldwin blame the gun.
I mean, quite literally, this is an instance where, like, the fucking gun is responsible for it.
Well, it was. I think it was the. It ended up being what you said, Dan. The second director.
Yeah, for real, dude. That Ezra Klein article is fucking shameful. I haven't read it. I just glanced over it. Didn't read the whole thing. Looked fucking shameful. Looked fucking shameful. I cannot believe people are putting out pieces like that. Ezra Klein fucking sucks. You are... I understand why someone like Pisco is so desperately clinging to abundance. I understand why that's happening. But it's not a good idea. It's terrible. Ezra Klein wrote a whole article called... Charlie Kirk is an example of someone who did politics the right way. Or something like that. Was like the title of it. Which is just like ridiculous. It's like fucking absurd. Like the guy was basically a government propagandist towards the end there. And he literally, he's totally happy to lie. Like how can you say, how can someone who is just like a flagrant fucking liar be doing politics the right way? It's like kind of a, you know, but we should have figured out by this point. Truth is kind of important to the continued health of a democracy. And if you're just a complete flagrant fucking liar who is lying to try and erode the institutions of the democracy, it's very difficult to say you're doing something like you're doing politics the right way. No, you're not, actually. No, you're like filth, but whatever. You shouldn't die. You shouldn't die, obviously. You shouldn't die. Obviously, it's bad. No one should shoot you for it. But holy fuck, it's not doing it the right way.
Ever fucked up.
The AD fucked up in the armor, who apparently was like a 24-year-old girl who only got the job because of nepotism, because her dad is like a legendary armorer in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And this was her second movie ever. And apparently now it's coming out that even on her first movie, she like fired off a gun without any warning and almost blew out Nicolas Cage's eardrum as a result.
That's awesome that she got a job after that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what I read, who's the guy who the second director or whatever?
They just move on to April and stuff here. I think, yeah, that's over. But yeah, I felt the points kept proving it. It's just like crazy the way Ethan presents these episodes. It's crazy some of the jokes he was making. It's crazy the calls of violence he was making. It's crazy acts like that. It's all just these insane lefties now. It's just like such a... I feel like this just shows so much of how just retarded and disingenuous the response to this shooting is.